We want to take things that positively affect everybody in the value chain of lending or buying or borrowing or selling. PriceHubble's acquisition of WhenFresh is a pivotal moment for both companies. WhenFresh is a local operator in a highly competitive market with incredibly agile delivery. What we realized was we needed growth ambition, so we needed a platform that could help us go global. PriceHubble is a global player. It brings reach, it brings expertise, it brings solidity. We help PriceHubble develop faster and they help us ship product globally. It is a perfect alignment. PriceHubble is a performance-based business. Its goal is to generate more business, more leads, and keep them warm throughout the entirety of the property-related life cycle. WhenFresh is a mortgage processing business. If you win a customer, you want to be able to process what they're doing. Conjoining these two businesses together amplifies the value chain. We want to be able to identify someone who wants to borrow and then elegantly and friction-free process them through so that they end up with the home that they want, and we've got them there faster and more efficiently than it's been possible to do before now. We want to take things that positively affect everybody in the value chain of lending or buying or borrowing or selling and make it slicker and make it faster and, more importantly, internationalize it. We've got use cases in each and different territories. We want to concatenate them together, cut them down so that we've got a solid value offering and make sure it's available in any one of our territories. That's the key for the year.